So in this video, I'm going to demonstrate how the modules are organized. So the first course tour walked you through the overall organization of the class. This one, we're going to click into a specific unit learning module. So you'll notice we're at the Start Here module. I'm going to click into Unit 2 because it's more typical of what you will see in the modules for Unit 2 through 6. Whereas Unit 1 is a little different. I think you'll be able to figure it out once you see, how to navigate this module as well. You just kind of move your way through it. But I wanted again to show you this one because it's organized more or less like every module, units 2 through 6. They follow the same organization. You complete the same assignments. It's just that the material, the readings that you'll be doing, and the videos that are included are different for each unit. So Unit 2, each unit has an image below the title. The title includes the dates that it will run. So this one will be talking about New Mexico's first peoples, the Spanish conquest, and the Pueblo Revolt. As you scroll down, of course, you see the list of items that are included here so that if you are working on the unit and you go away from it, you come back, you can start right at the location that you left off. To begin, though, always click into the intro and objectives section. Internet didn't get any faster between recording the last video and this one. The unit intro and objectives is exactly what it sounds like. It's an introduction to the topics that we'll be studying, the main events and historical figures. It also gives you this list of what needs to be completed and by when. So for example, during the first day of the unit, which for this one is December 29th, you need to do the reading and view some of the film clips, and I'll say more about that in a second. You need to post at least 15 reading tweets. The instructions for that are in the reading tweets document that will be available further into the module. And you need to submit the identification step of the timeline assignment. So that's that first step of the timeline assignment to be completed both here in Brightspace and posted on the course timeline. That's what needs to be done the first day. During the second day, you'll do the connection step of the timeline assignment, and you'll do either the journal entry or the discussion assignment. So remember, you choose one or the other for each unit. You don't do both. Here are the objectives in terms of the content we'll be covering, the events, issues, and historical figures. And here is an intro video. As you can tell, it's a little dated. Hopefully, I will be updating those soon, maybe even during our intersession. You'll also notice why I started shaving my head. So anyway, that's the intro and objective section. That's roughly the same for every unit 2 through 6. And even in Unit 1, there's an introduction to what we're doing and a list of the assignments and the objectives. So that's where you'll see what you need to do during that unit. Then as you continue, so I clicked on the arrow, and you'll go to the next section of the module to find the materials and the instructions to complete everything that was introduced in that first section. This is unique to Unit 2. It's a video about how to do the reading. There's a lot to cover, and I don't expect you to read everything word for word. So this video gives you some ideas about how to judiciously skim so that you can get the main ideas, the big events, and focus on learning key elements from New Mexico history. So that's there for you as a resource. Please do take advantage of it. As you'll notice, I just clicked ahead in the learning module. All right, the next section, and usually this follows the intro and objectives, but the list of readings. This was in the syllabus as well. There's always an assignment from the digital textbook that's listed as Morgan. And then there are two other, either a podcast episode, as is the case here. At the Exploratorium is a website all about Chaco Canyon that is interactive, or there might be a journal article. These two might vary, but there are always three main readings. Then you'll have some optional readings. Again, if you have time, if you're interested, you can get to those. It might even be that you want to save some of those for later because you don't have time during the intersession to get to them, but they're things you're interested in. There are always questions to consider as you read in the reading section. There are no assignments connected to those, so it's not something that you have to like respond to and submit. But these are questions just to get you thinking, to help point out key issues that you might want to think about as you complete the readings. The next section in each of these learning modules, 2 through 6, is the film clips. And as you'll see here momentarily, with the film clips, there are always more here than you'll be able to watch, and that's okay. You don't have to watch them all. Even if you didn't watch any of them, that would be okay. These are here as a supplement to the readings to hopefully help you answer questions that you may have had when you did the readings, or these will give you different perspectives on the topics and issues that we're exploring. So as we'll learn about in Unit 1, it's always important to get as many perspectives on the past as possible. So the videos are here to just add another one. Some of these, like the Surviving Columbus, are actually embedded in the digital textbook, but most of them aren't. Most of them are different. And so again, they just give you different takes on what we've been studying. And so you'll do the readings, you'll watch the videos, and it's okay to, you may even want to, work on your reading tweets while you're doing that. The next section of each module, oh, this one is an FYI about the Idle No More movement if you're interested, about current Indigenous and First Peoples activism. That's something that you can explore if you're interested, you have time, maybe something to bookmark for later. But typically, what follows the video clips is the reading tweets section. And so this slide is essentially the same in every learning module, 2 through 6, because it gives you the instructions for the reading tweets. If you click here, a reminder to go to Twitter or TweetDeck, whatever you want to do to complete your tweets. I mean, you could actually do it with your thumbs on your phone using the mobile app or on a tablet. It just depends on how you're most comfortable with this. But you can complete the tweets as you're doing the readings. You could take notes on paper and then write those into Twitter after the fact, whatever works best for you. But again, these are just where you will take notes about what is most significant, meaningful, important as you complete the readings and why. We're going to be working on writing concisely. So you're going to give as much detail as you can about what the event or person was and why you find it significant in a tweet or two. You're required to do 10 original tweets, commentary, your notes on the reading in each unit, and then 5 replies to classmates. And again, you go to Twitter to do that. So that's not completed here within Brightspace unless you're opting out. And then you'll click here to go to the Reading Tweets discussion forum. Our hashtag is #H2110. You write that in all of your tweets to make sure that we're all able to find them. Again, more on that in the instructions. Hopefully that's a helpful description of what this section of the unit module is there for. Right. This one is different too. This is not in every unit module, only in Unit 2. I put it right before the timeline assignments because one of the things that you're doing for the timeline is identifying a topic that you would like to do a little bit more research on, that you're going to write an entry to post on the timeline that explains what that topic is, and what you've learned in addition to the textbook reading about it, and why it's historically significant. You're going to share, I've called it an outside source, but you'll go online to do some research and you'll find an additional source. It can be a website, could be a blog post. Again, the SIFT method gives you a way of thinking about how to evaluate online sources so that you can vet the source that you've found for credibility and relevance to the topic. So please do give this a look. If you click here, it'll take you to the blog post on these steps of stop, investigate the source, find better coverage, trace claims. All right, so that's, again, there's a resource. The SIFT method, I also reference that in the final project, both steps of that, to help us think about how to evaluate sources. Each unit module 2 through 6 has this timeline ID step. You'll have a link to the instructions for the timeline assignment. Remember, you can go to the Twitter and timeline tutorials to reference videos that walk you through how to get started with Tiki-Taki. They're also linked from the assignment instructions themselves. Here's a link directly to the timeline on Tiki-Taki, and then kind of a basic overview of the requirements for this assignment. Here is the place where you will upload your entry. So remember, you have to upload the document that you worked from, and then you copy and paste the work from your document into the timeline on Tiki-Taki. That's an important step because that's how you will see what everyone else has posted, and that's how you'll make a connection to someone else's topic. So I'm going to move ahead here. The next thing in all of these learning modules is the connection step. Remember, the connection step can be done on the second day, or it's due on the second day of the unit. So in this case, it would be the 30th. This is where you will go and find a topic on the timeline that relates to your own, that connects to your own in some way, and you'll write a paragraph about how that connection, or what that connection is and why it's important. You'll post again, both here and on Tiki-Taki. You'll add your paragraph at the end of your peer's entry that you're connecting to. And then we have the Unit 2 journal. So remember, you do either the journal or the discussion, not both. You can click here for the journal instructions and guidelines, and then you upload your submission here. Or if you don't want to do that, you go ahead to the discussion. So the next part of the learning module takes you to the discussion forum for that particular module. It'll be different in each module. Each discussion gives you kind of a scenario that you will respond to with some sort of creative type of response. So in this one, you're writing a letter to the county manager, Rio Arriba County, about the removal, I should say, of the Juan de Oñate statue. In Unit 4, you create a meme about the U.S.-Mexico War. There are different things like that. So you create your post based on the instructions that are there, and then you make at least one response to appear on the discussion board. And then at the end, there's a self-assessment checklist. It's just a checklist to make sure you've done everything. So you can go through and check this off, that yes, I've finished the readings, I did the reading tweets, I did the SIFT activity. That's the thing. It's not something you submit, but it's something to read through and think about. Oh, I lied about that. I did ask you to post a tweet about what you've learned and how you'll apply it to doing research for our class. So there is something small there. And again, remember, that's only in Unit 2, not in Units 3 through 6. Timeline ID step, connection step, and then either the journal or discussion. And those assignments, again, are the same, with the exception of the SIFT activity in every module 2 through 6. It's just that the readings and film clips will deal with different topics, a different moment in New Mexico history. All right, if you click ahead after the checklist, it'll take you to the kind of landing page for the next module for Unit 3. From here, you can get to the table of contents to see the big picture of where you're going next. Do remember that for Unit 3, because it falls on the New Year's holiday, the only thing that's required are the reading tweets. The timeline and the discussion or journal are extra credit. Just in Unit 3 only. You will be able to go ahead and click on the final project modules if you want to work ahead a little bit. These are only one day, so all of these unit learning modules are 2 days long, but then on Sunday, January 2nd, and then later Sunday, January 9th, the last day of our class, you'll focus on the project. And as with everything, you can look ahead, you can click on the instructions. Here is where you will add, or you will submit your completed assignments. And so you can go ahead and see what all of that is before we get to this point. But Sunday, January 2nd is the day that is dedicated to this particular assignment. All right. Hopefully that's helpful. As with everything, please let me know whenever you have questions, whenever I can help. And I'm here for that. I'm here to help.